A man carrying a gun boarded the plane, with the security officer pretending not to see it and left his post as if in a hurry. Just like that, the man managed to get on board with his weapon. 30 minutes later, the plane was in the air. Not long after takeoff, a girl discovered a bullet inside the restroom. She immediately felt uneasy. Could there be terrorists on the plane? Trying to stay calm, she returned to her seat. After a brief inner struggle, she told her companion. Just then, a man in a floral shirt walked over. He quietly warned her not to make a scene and asked for the bullet, claiming he would report it to the crew. Without much thought, the girl handed it over. But instead of helping, the man took the bullet to business class, where he whispered to his accomplices. Their cover had been blown. Originally, the hijackers' plan was to strike 3 hours after takeoff. Now they had to act early. One of them handed the man a green hat. This was their signal. Once he wore it, the attack would begin in 5 minutes. As soon as the signal went out, the countdown started. A passenger nicknamed Old Black sensed something was wrong. Just as he was about to investigate, a girl in a red dress called over a flight attendant to check if the floral shirt man had really handed in the bullet. But it was too late. The hijackers launched their attack. The passengers screamed in panic as the terrorists quickly took control of the plane. All communication devices were confiscated. A flight attendant tried to report the situation to the captain, but was caught halfway. The captain managed to contact the control tower, but he too was interrupted. The hijackers forced him to open the cockpit door by threatening a female crew member. The captain reluctantly complied, but the co-pilot resisted, trying to block them. To cover their tracks, the captain lied to the tower, claiming everything was fine. Unfortunately, ground control believed him, and the terrorists had full control of the plane. Meanwhile, Old Black secretly used his second phone to send a text to his wife. The flight had been hijacked. To avoid suspicion, he swapped his phones under the pretense of checking a message for a business meeting. During the chaos, a gun fell to the floor. Old Black grabbed it. The passengers thought the tide had turned, until he shocked everyone by returning the weapon to the hijackers. His reasoning was simple. He only wanted to get home safely. But doubts grew among the passengers. When the hijackers fired earlier, no one was hit, and no shell casings were found. Could their guns be loaded with blanks? To test it, a curly-haired man pretended to be sick and went to the restroom. He scribbled a message on tissue paper, faked vomiting sounds, and threw the paper ball to a nearby woman as he left. The note instructed her to look for shell casings, and if none were found, to signal by switching on her reading light. The woman searched the floor pretending she'd lost her glasses, and indeed found nothing. She returned to her seat and turned on the light, proof that no real bullets had been fired. Still, Old Black urged caution. One girl in red had seen a real bullet earlier. They needed her confirmation. A bearded passenger drew the bullet shape on paper. Using the flight attendants as couriers, the note eventually reached the red-dressed girl. She confirmed the bullet she saw matched Type B. That meant the hijackers' guns were indeed firing blanks. Encouraged, the passengers realized their numbers gave them the upper hand. 5 hijackers against more than 100 people. But what they didn't know was that one hijacker actually contained real rounds. Meanwhile, the captain secretly deviated the plane's course by 3 degrees, a subtle SOS signal. Ground control noticed, suspecting the plane was under duress. But then, in a disastrous move, they used the speaker system to directly call out to the aircraft, loud enough for the terrorists to hear everything. The hijackers stormed the cockpit to confirm. Even as the co-pilot tried clever hints to signal distress, the ground staff failed to grasp the situation, insisting the captain identify himself. Forced under threat, the captain falsely reassured them. At that moment, a passenger clashed with the hijackers. Old Black seized the chance and rushed toward the cockpit. Since the terrorists weren't shooting, he deduced their weapons were fake and decided to risk it. But what he didn't realize was that one hijacker had just secretly loaded live rounds. This is the British thriller series Hijack 7 Hours.